Hello, so this is Minna Song, and I wanted to make a short video, well, probably be short, talking about depression and what I am doing to try and keep myself from slipping into depression. So I have bipolar disorder, and I deal predominantly with depression when I am not somewhat well. I'm either usually somewhat well or like really depressed. And I have managed to avoid major depression, being depressed for an extended period of time, fairly well ever since I had TMS, or transcranial magnetic stimulation, towards the end of last year. But I feel myself slipping. I feel the mood shifts. Having a couple of major swings every day, and I'm not sure why. I'm going from being pretty happy to being really, really sad and anxious, and why I'm having such a hard time stabilizing the moods, or why I'm starting to lean more towards the depressive end of the spectrum in general. But it's definitely affecting my music. I was, towards the beginning of this cycle of mood problems, I was playing more covers, I was practicing a little bit more, I was starting to enjoy playing more and feeling more expressive while I was playing and singing. And now that I'm becoming more predominantly depressed, I am barely playing at all. It just kind of goes along with the lack of motivation that one may feel when they are dealing with some symptoms of depression. So I wanted to share some things that I'm doing to kind of keep myself afloat, or to hang on to the rope so that I'm able to kind of climb back up. So some things that I do every day is I keep track of my habits and what I'm doing each day. So I have certain core habits that I try to make sure I do every day no matter what. Like my DBT diary card at the end of each day. I'm pretty consistent with that. Flossing, it's really minor, but just the act of flossing and knowing that I put in that mindful effort to do it and that I'm enforcing that habit, it makes a difference, because it's me telling myself that I am aware of myself enough and mindful of myself and my health enough that I'm willing to go floss, even though I really don't even feel like brushing my teeth at all. So what happens is I'm very aware of my warning signs. I think that is something that anyone who deals with mental illness should try, even if you need to work with someone else that knows you really well, to try and pinpoint what your early warning signs are, can make a really big difference. So I've become pretty aware of mine, and where I am uncertain, my family or boyfriend usually can point out what, either of hypomania or mania or going towards depression. They're able to let me know, hey Mary, you're being a little bit off, you seem a little off today. I'm also able to track this myself through daily journaling, my diary card, accountability from my therapist every week. And basically, and get to the point, these are the things that I'm doing to hang in there right now. So, like I said, I do a lot of things to track and monitor my activity and self-care, such as meditating, going on walks. A warning sign that I'm going down is when I stop prioritizing those things or documenting them at all. That's something that's definitely occurring now, and I'm trying to get back into just that simple daily task of writing what I'm grateful for, what I'm trying to do each day, what I did do each day, how I felt that day, what I can do the next day to do better, or to feel better, or to take care of myself better. As I mentioned, I've been noticing extreme moods of both happiness and sadness on a daily basis. They don't seem related to things in my environment or external stimuli. This really kind of indicates me a mood instability and possibly a medication problem. So on that, I have been reaching out to my psychiatrist. I have enough experience with this in my personal life and in my experience to know that those kinds of symptoms that don't seem related to anything around me often go back to a more biological or medication related problem. As I said, I've been trying to hang on to my habits, even just the small ones like flossing, even if it's just a few a day. One thing I do is I try to use the app Youper every day. This app is really good for helping you pinpoint and elaborate on what's going on in your head and to help you diagnose what your common pitfalls are in your thinking, like bad patterns of thought. They call it on Youper, they call them thinking traps, like negative glasses, looking at everything through a really negative lens, or disqualifying the positives in your life, catastrophic thinking, fortune telling, mind reading, different things that can go into unhealthy thinking that may not really be objective and conducive to problem solving or making any positive change. And I've also I have found that Youper in general is pretty helpful, but I've also learned that there are times when I am in these really, really crappy moods and I'm also really, really tired because I deal with some kind of weird, undiagnosed, unexplainable, overwhelming fatigue several times a day. And so when that extreme tiredness kicks in and I'm having these bad thoughts as well, I've learned that I may not necessarily need to diagnose and pick apart my brain to fix these problems so much as I need to give myself grace to rest, give myself permission to relax and have restorative meditative rest or sleep. Not for too long, because sleeping can be very, very bad whenever you are depressed. If you sleep for prolonged periods of time, multiple times a day, if you're sleeping like 14 hours a day, you have a problem. But if I've learned that for me, that it can be very helpful to give myself permission to relax for a period of time where I can have that restorative calm. So Youper is also good for that though. This is not hating on Youper. Youper has a mindfulness feature where you can recognize if that's what you need through a mindfulness meditation. You may realize, you know what, I need to rest. I need to do something else. I don't need to pick apart my brain right now. I need to do something else. So, knowing that I'm having these symptoms, I've reached out to my psychiatrist about the medication adjustments. I'm trying something new starting today. I'm hoping for the best, even though I'm quite tired right now, but that's normal. And I'm following my therapist's advice to have a maintenance round of the transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS. I should be able to start that hopefully next week. And I may make a separate video about that sometime. It's really interesting. I'll provide some links about what TMS is, but it can be an alternative for some people to electroconvulsive therapy. And for me, it has been effective. And with the mood swings, I have had a few rushes of inspiration, such as I had the inspiration almost like a lightning strike, like great idea to make a concept album about sleep in collaboration with a great friend of mine and fellow musician that has agreed to help me make this album about sleep. And for that, I'm very excited, and I appreciate that rush of inspiration I felt in that more uplifted mood. But again, with the depression going on, I haven't been playing very much at all. So it goes back to the creativity video I made of just do it, like you just need to do it. And yesterday, kind of following my own advice, I practiced one of the key songs that's going to be on the concept album about sleep, because there are several of my songs that I will have to relearn and re-carve into my brain the melodies and chord progressions and even the lyrics too, because I write hardly anything down ever, and I rely on my memory and muscle memory in my ear to play my music. So I have to relearn a lot of my songs due to not practicing as much, which again, check out my video on creativity, and I mean, maybe I should watch it again as well and follow my own advice. But I've also noticed that rather than more, I read a lot of self-help, motivational, inspirational type books, and I've noticed that lately I'm more inclined to reading it's really straightforward philosophy, Stoicism. I'm reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius right now, and I read The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday, I think. And I really like that. It kind of helps give me a daily check-in of practical wisdom. I'm really enjoying the Marcus Aurelius. I really enjoy the manual by Epictetus. These are really good books on just looking at the world differently, but very logically, like with reason and practicality, and overcoming the things that are in our paths and turning the obstacles into opportunities, if at all possible. And along with that, I've also gotten back into my daily Bible reading. I have been doing a plan on the Youversion called Bible in 1 year for about 2 years. So I've officially read the Bible 0 times so far in my lifetime. But the Bible in 1 year, it's an app too, and that Bible reading plan on Youversion has been like huge for me to actually read the Bible in a way that I can kind of grasp more of what I'm reading, because I used to read it and just have a million questions about every other verse, and then I would ponder these things and become conflicted about what I was reading, ask everybody I knew all these questions about it that could not necessarily be easily answered. And the Bible in 1 year plan is so helpful because it has really good commentary that explains as it goes a lot of the questions that may pop up in one's head as they're reading the Bible, because it's a complex book and some things are hard to understand. Like, why is this happening? But I feel like my spiritual life is still sound and growing, maturing in that way. And I'm definitely benefiting from the Stoicism. So I think that the most crucial thing has been an awareness of what my warning signs are, which there is a resource I can link to, Wellness and Recovery Action Plan. It's called WRAP, and it's a workbook, something like that. I will link to that in the description. It helps you target what your warning signs are and write out in advance a plan of action for when you start to go down. If you struggle with depression or any kind of mood disorder, it can be really helpful if you need some kind of structure or guidance in determining those warning signs. I'm pretty aware of mine, and also it's been pretty glaringly obvious whenever I look through my daily journaling, my daily journal templates that I create, everything that I document with my habits that I'm working on, and then I see that I'm not doing more than half of the things regularly, along with these intense mood swings and these feelings of sadness and overwhelm and confusion. And yeah, but I think that I am hanging on and working towards pulling myself up. I think the TMS will be helpful. I'm hoping this medication change will be helpful. But I wanted to share this with you. Anyone who struggles with mental illness or mood problems. And I also wanted to share how it's affecting my art right now. It's definitely having an effect. You don't necessarily create more when you're depressed, especially when you lack motivation and you're really tired all the time. Depression and angst and anger and frustration do not automatically equate to beautiful art or expressive art or any art for that matter. But that's all. I hope that this is helpful for someone, and I'll provide some links in the bottom. Please like and subscribe if this is helpful for you at all. Share it with a loved one if you think it could be helpful for them. And I wish you the best.